blind. You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off. Good luck not getting killed.
Well, hello and welcome to round number 8 of the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter, racing from New Jersey Motorsports Park. So this is a pretty interesting track. I actually have not driven or covered a race from this track before. It is a 2.25 mile. It has 4 different layouts, but the one we're running tonight has 12 corners, according to iRacing here. It is actually what they call a tech track, meaning that out in the background you can see there's no buildings. There's just racing service, the curbs, and the grass around the track. They've never actually completed this track, but it seems, just from the practice session that I've watched so far, like a pretty neat track. So I know in the past that the Grand Am Sports Car Series, now defunct Grand Am Sports Car Series, ran some races here. The ARCA NASCAR Series, I don't know if it was the ARCA NASCAR Series back then, but ARCA did run here. And recently, well, there's a lot of club racing here of various different types of sports cars and SCCA kind of events. But the Road to Indy cars did run here, and the USF 2000 and Indy Pro 2000 cars. Those cars about 200 to 300 horsepower, so nothing near the 700 horsepower of an Indy car, but they ran like 2 or 3 races here back in, I want to say, September or October, and this was a pretty good circuit, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be running it again this year. So we're running it here in the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter. And of course, let's take some time to pay some bills here and do shout out to our sponsors here. So one of them is the Beltway Brewing Company. So thirsty for some award-winning local craft beer, Beltway Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and proudly represents the DMV. Try their lineup of original handcrafted IPAs, lagers, sour stouts, and even seltzer. You can order directly from their website, beltwaybrewco.com, for contact-free delivery right to your door or pickup from their Sterling tap room. Then, of course, kind of the title sponsor of the series here is Treakle Insurance and Hagerty Insurance. Treakle Insurance is an independent insurance agency offering auto, home, business, and life insurance. They teamed up with the Hagerty Insurance to provide collector car coverage as well as race car and track day coverage. So a really good cause. We've talked to Darren Treakle, who's the owner of Treakle Insurance Agency, several times in the previous weeks. He seems like a really good guy and actually a really good driver as well, as we've seen since he's been on the podium. So that was paying the bills here, and let's get back to qualifying. We're a little bit short of a couple drivers here so far tonight, but I think we got some guys trickling in. That's good. We might need to restart our overlay here momentarily. Let's so I have an overlay for 15 drivers or less, and then an overlay for 15 drivers or more. And it looks like we've got 16 and 17 have come in, so let's see if we can get that loaded up and get everybody shown on the screen here for you folks out there. We reloaded this. Never like to be reloading this in the middle, but yes, now we have 16th and 17th, and whoever else joins beyond this we'll have on the broadcast tonight in positions. So Christopher Hill, who's won quite a few races here so far this season, currently provisional pole sitter, followed by Rafael Torres. So Rafael, I was seeing, is going to be running at the Nordschleife here. I don't know when it's actually at. He was trying to get some people rounded up to run that race with him, though. So really cool event that he's putting on. These guys are, a lot of them, real drivers, not just sim drivers. Let's have Treakle here. Try to do it, give us a run around here. So we will turn ourselves down, number one. Going on board here. Goes a little bit wide through that corner there. So I believe that was actually turn 3. Coming up is turn 4. Learning the track myself, so I'm not 100% sure if that was accurate or not. Yeah, I don't think that was accurate. Let's get him around to the start-finish line, and then we'll go through everything here. You can see, again, this is a tech track, so no trees out there. So we're on board with Treakle from that Treakle Insurance Agency. Seems to kind of be easing it off. This particular last lap was didn't count because he had an off track, so he's preparing for the next one. And here we're going to be going to the start-finish line. This is actually turn 10, 11, 12. This is turn 12. Now we're on the front straightaway, going across the start-finish line. Next is the first corner. It's got some nice curbs on the right coming up. Turn 1 through to turn 2. Takes really wide on that. I think he was really close. That is through turn 3 on to turn 4, a little bit blind for a moment. Shifts down, and then on to turn 5, a little bit slower here, left-hander. Goes wide under the rumble strips for another quick turn 6, and then we get to the slowest section of the course coming up in turn 7 to turn 10. It's kind of 7, 10, or 7, 8, 9, 10. Really slow up here with this. It's not, I don't know if they're going to call it a hairpin. They don't have names on the corners here. Well, this is called the Thunderbolt circuit, though. It's coming out of turn 10 and to 11. And then that is turn 12, final corner. And that will be a lap for you guys here at the New Jersey Motorsports Park. Hello to anybody watching out there tonight. Make sure to hit us up on the chat. Looks like everybody has set a lap here. I do think quite a few of the drivers here have driven this particular track in real life. There were some questions on whether they were giving me accurate information last week. I asked a couple of the drivers, hey, are you ready for New Jersey Motorsports Park? And then I told the following driver that I interviewed, and he said there's no way that the driver hadn't seen this track before. I guess maybe they hadn't seen it in iRacing before, but they've seen it in real life. So currently Hill at the top of the board. Treakle with that last lap went P2. The onboard that we did there was the P2 lap. He's about a half a second off. So we're still really close times here, followed by Rafael Torres. He's mowing the grass here. Getting some cars to go by. Dean Thuline here in the 4th position. Brian Kennedy. I think that might be a new livery there for Brian in the 5th position, the 777 car. Well, if he gets on the podium, I'll have to ask him about that. And okay, I thought So that's Stover in the orange car. I thought it was Bielik, but it's not. Peter Lanik is on the pit lane. Our admin, Scott Kim, is in 7th. Colin Kordenek in P8. John Wood in P9. Sten Cellier in P10. Am I saying that correctly, by the way? It looks like we have a Sten fan out there. I might have been saying his name incorrectly the whole time. It's either Cellier or Cellier. Let me know which one it might be in the peanut gallery out there. Brian Hare is on the pit lane. Michael Bond in P12. Stephen Tenney just setting a P13 lap. Robert Benson on the pit lane in P14. Peter Yerkes, P15. Bobby Blankenship smoking the tires going into one of our corners there in P16. And Matthew Stover in P17. Just under 10 minutes to go. Thank you guys for watching here tonight. Oh, as Stover goes off, contacts with the Armco barrier. That is too bad. Looks like he'll just set another fast one and he's going to pull it on into the pits here. So yeah, this is the Thunderbolt circuit, 2.25 mile circuit. So I was mentioning earlier, we've had a bunch of SCCA kind of events out here. Grand Am, ARCA, some Indy, or Road to Indy, Mazda Road to Indy series have run this track before. I would assume the Atlantic Championship probably ran here as well. Treacle's still on the track. It might be an idea to run the fuel down, go in and get some new tires, and then try to get out here and, you know, set a fast one. Sten here. So Sten, I believe, is involved with that Beltway Brewing Company, from what I understand. I'm not sure he's the owner, if he just works there, or what it might be, but there is a connection there to Sten there. Should probably have somebody make him a Beltway Brew Co. livery, if that is the way it is. And same goes for Treakle there. I do have a guy that I know that could do such a thing, if you guys are looking for somebody to do such a thing. Okay, he's actually, I do see it. He's got it on the front there. I'm not sure if we can get a real close-up of that. Just on the front, over the headlights, I did see a Beltway Brew Company logo there as Rafa goes again on the grass out here. We do have an incident limit when it comes to the race. I think it's 14 incidents before a black flag. Rafa's just using all the track here. Check out Scott Kim here. He's dropped back to 8th. It looks like he's got Sten behind him. He's wrestling with that car through this slow part of the course. This was through that turn 10 area, coming on to kind of the fast section here. Turn 11, onto the fast turn 12, onto the front straightaway. A lot of curb there. Into turn 1, using a lot more curb. It looks like Sten's catching up to him here, though. Not the best thing for qualifying, though, to be racing people, as Scott there blinked out there for a moment. But yeah, since we have some Sten fans out here in the crowd, we'll spotlight him for a little while here. Goes a little bit wide, just checking up because of the car ahead of him. Number 16 here, Beltway Brew Co. And he's dropped back just a little bit on Scott, and he went through the grass there. And now the tires are going to be a little slick as he re-enters. Somebody else trying to mow the grass as well as Rafa there. Also doing a little bit of mowing the grass over here too. Really, I would say the times here are really close this week. It is a short lap, but you know, a second between the top 5, another second from there back to about P12, and then a second from P12 to the end. Not too bad. And again, if you're interested in driving BMW M8s and iRacing, this is the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter. So BMW CCA NCC, or just BMW NCC. Search that on the league functionality in iRacing. Apply to the league. They're always welcome to have you. Especially if you're a BMW fan of any sort, whether it's the M8 or the Z4 or any of those. Only 2 cars in the top. As Darren had a little bit of a wide moment there, but only 2 cars in the 11s here. Let's look at the average speeds here. Average speed at 108.746 miles an hour as Brian Kennedy goes P2. I think that car looks pretty good here. It's got some chrome on it. I hadn't noticed that before, I don't think. Brian Kennedy's car. Quick lap by him. Let's have Brian take us around here with some really loud engine here. Turn it up. Well, that was Brian Kennedy there, really going pretty fast here, trying to get jump up, get to that provisional pole position here. And you could tell he was really putting it down there, while trying to lay down a good one there. Got a few people out there watching tonight, some family members. Make sure to tell us who you're rooting for out there. We've got Sten fans out there. Dad, apparently. We'll keep an eye on him as the night goes on. That last lap not quicker for Brian Kennedy. Lanik, one of our winners from last season out here. So Hill, whose provisional pole has won every race as Treakle goes P2. But I was about to say, Hill has won every race here this season. This is the 8th race. We had one race where Hendrick Deswart won a race. You know, he knocked him off as basically on a flawless season there for Hill, but got knocked off by Hendrick there. And Hill came back to win last week. Hendrick's not here this week. He said he was getting out of Dodge of kind of the week's festivities, and he'll be back next week from what I understand. We're doing Road America next week. One of my favorite circuits. Although I feel like I've gotten slower at Road America recently, but still one of my favorite circuits. 20 seconds left in qualifying. We're gonna be another couple minutes probably to let anybody on a hot lap finish one. So Darren's gonna go across the line here, and he has time to put another one in if he wants to. A lot of curb there. So if somebody's gonna knock him off, this is where it's gonna be. As in Hill, that is. So this will be interesting. How long of a little bit of a rear end slide there, it looked like, and Treakle sends it off there. What's Kennedy doing out here? Kennedy is in the pit lane. Atlantic, see what he can do. He has gotten into the 11 seconds, so we have top 4 drivers here. Hill, Treakle, Kennedy, Atlantic are into the top 4. Rafa there in P5, struggling a little bit this week. We usually see him in the top 3 or so. Atlantic's quick here. With that said, Rafa's really had some bad luck this season in the races, and I know he's had some hardware issues. So let's, I think we're done here. Let's go through the grid. Oops. That got reset. I'm gonna reload everything there. Okay, so Chris Hill in P1 at a minute 11.173, followed by Darren Treakle in P2, Brian Kennedy in P3, Peter Lanik in P4, Rafa Torres in P5, Dean Thuline in P16, Colin Kordenek in P17, Scott Kim, our admin there, in P8, John Wood in P9, Brian Hare in P10, Sten Cellier in P11 in that Beltway Bruco car, Michael Bond in P12, Peter Yerkes in P13, Stephen Tenney in P14, Robert Benson, P15, Matthew Stover, P16, and Bobby Blankenship rounding out our field in P17. Once again, this week we've got the Porsche, I'm not sure which one that is, but it's a Porsche pace car pacing the BMWs here this week. See where are we starting here? Let's go up to the blimp and see what we're looking at here. I think we're doing a really short pace lap here, so it's good that I got through the grid there. Got a lot of time though, but I think we're gonna have a really short pace lap here. Although I'm not 100%. Here we go. Porsche pace car pulls away. A little bit different than my race we covered last night, where the admins had messed up the ignition and the drivers actually had to start their cars. Usually the iRacing leagues have an auto starter on the car, so the cars just automatically are ready to go. But nobody had it bound that you need to have an ignition switch, so they were figuring that out before the race. Okay, where are we at on the track? Let's see here. Okay, we're early in the track. We're gonna have a longer pace lap. Good looking cars here. Looking out in the back of the field, Bobby Blankenship in the back there. Slowest qualifier. BMW M8s, I don't even know if I mentioned that yet, but these are run at Le Mans and in the GTE class in the IMSA series. Had a lot of action at the start of these races, a lot of contact. See how clean they can keep it. Want to keep everybody together. Head on up to the chopper, maybe the blimp, to get a good look at this. You can see this is a tech track again, and we're just about to go green here, so let me head back down. Pace car is in, and we're waiting for a green flag. And we have our green flag. Rafa was looking inside. He looks outside now. Clean through turn 1. Treakle slots into P2. Lanik into P3. We are pretty much cleanly through so far. Looked like Scott Kim might be having some internet connection issues because I saw a little blink. I think it was from him, or it might have been from somebody else. It's coming under pressure from... Brian Hare gets around Kim just a little bit off into the grass there. Kim coming under pressure from Yerxa there. Somebody ahead, locking up. Okay, we had an off there. John Wood with an off there. See if we can get a replay of this in that green car right there. Just gets the rear end, comes around on him. Back on the track, so Hill leads our first lap. Still in hot pursuit is Treakle in P2. Rafa takes back over the P3 position from Lanik in P4. Lanik's coming under pressure from Kennedy there. Kennedy having a bit of a bad start there. He started P3. Lanik's having some issues there as we have several cars off behind. See if we can get a replay here. Kim got a little bit of... that's going to be a bad one. That is an exploded engine. That's going to be a tow. A lot of cars were off there. What happened to Lanik here? So, Lanik goes. Let's see, how's it going to go? It keeps it off of the Armco, and you could see Kim in the back fly off the track. Back to live pictures. On board with Dean Thuline here. Actually, back to Lanik here. Sellier has gone into 7th, but Lanik's working on him. Into turn 4 ahead. Lanik's going to make that work and take over the 7th position. Top 10 positions score points in the league. Sellier up from 11th up to 8. He was there 7th for a moment. Taking advantage of some of the other cars' misfortunes, it looks like. Treakle, so Hill has set a best lap. It is a really good one up at the front. 11.5, just a little bit off of what his fastest lap would have been during the qualifying session. John Wood had an off here. Let's see what, this is his second off, I believe. Is it just a harmless off, or is it more serious here? Not seeing an off. Okay. Trying to see if we've got any other tight battles. Yerxa here in P9, working on Sellier. Okay, here we go. Robert Benson working on Stover and John Wood here. A good battle here brewing. That is Stover in the orange car, John Wood in the green car, and Robert Benson in that teal and blue car, Falcon Tire car. Back at the front, Kordenek and Thuline are battling for the 5th position. Not gonna happen at the moment here. Dean there a little bit too far into the rumble strips, had to back out of it just a little bit. Last lap by Treakle, matching Hill's lap. This is who we were talking to between who knew this track and who didn't. Unfortunately, our men there, Scott Kim's back in 16th position. It says he's out. He's not out. Michael Bond is out, though, but Scott Kim is not. It says it on the overlay that he's out, but he is still circulating laps. We'll get that updated, hopefully, at some point in time. John Wood, this is probably our best battle. Oh, as Stover turns around, and John Wood's going to go through, as well as Robert Benson. Perfect time. Saw that there was a battle closing up there. Yerkes still battling with... And we'll go on board with Yerkes as Sten Sellier goes off there, and Yerkes is going to go around him, but then Yerkes goes off as well. But I don't think Sten could have made an advantage on that short. Oh, we got another car off. Is that, that's Thuline. That's a bad off there because he was up near the front, or like in 6th. He's back 10th now. Coming under pressure from Bobby Blankenship. It looks like a little bit of damage on that car. He might have to head for that pit lane. A little bit of grill damage on that car, it looks like to me. And Sellier gets around Yerkes there. Good battle there. Really comparative laps here between Yerkes and Sellier. Brian Kennedy just had an off. Kordenek might have got around him. Okay, yeah, so Kordenek's going to make a move. He had to back out of it a little bit, but then Kennedy's still off there, and so that was a pass. Heading back to Yerkes there. Sten just pulling away slightly from there. Kennedy's brought it back up to Kordenek here. Looking for that P4 position. Kennedy started P3, he's back to P5, and Kordenek here started P7, so he's up to P4. That's pretty good move. Kennedy trying to find a way around as they go around turn 12 and on the main straightaway. Kordenek's looking to look inside. Hard on the brakes. Did not quite make it work. Lanik behind them. Started P4 back to 6th at the moment. Rafa's up from P5 to P3. Yerkes is still in a really good battle between, that is Sellier up front. Make sure to let us know who you want to look at out there in the if you're out there watching live here tonight. A lot of Sten fans out here. But we got to get some other fans out there. Let us know who they're supporting other than Sten. Closest battle on track is kind of this 4th, 5th, and 6th battle, as well as Dean Thuline here. He started 6th, he's back to 10th, so he's going to be trying to make a move up the field. He's working on Bobby Blankenship up ahead in that white car. A little bit of rubber coming off the tires, I could see there. Not 100% sure if they're running. So last week we ran, we had pit stops. I'm not sure if they're going to have fuel for the pit stops, if they're required or not this week. Certainly interesting when they add that little element to everything out here. Up for that in P5 is still Kordenek in P4, Kennedy in P5, and Lanik in P6. That lead for Hill at the front has almost made its way to about 3 seconds. And Kennedy dives low on Kordenek. Couldn't quite make it work, but he's a little bit slower, and Lanik's coming into this picture a little bit more. Let's go on board with Peter here. A really good battle. Okay, we have Kordenek going wide in the grass, and Lanik and Kennedy are going to make it by. And oh, Kordenek impacting the Armco there just ever so slightly. He's going to drop back to 8th position. Is he going to go back into 9th? So Lanik and Kennedy take over that P4 and P5 spot. Yeah, I appreciate the sentiments there, Hendrick. But the cars are the stars here. So, let's see. I'm just looking through to try to see if we can put the best battle on the track. We have several actually. This Lanik one's really close. Yerxa, so Sten has made it up to 6th. Really good move by him this race. He's just kept it clean. He's under pressure from Peter Yerxa, but I think they're pretty much setting even lap times. Looks like Kim has called it a day, so he is actually out now. Stover is our last of our lead lap cars. He's going to be coming under pressure in another few laps. From the leader, that is. And Yerxa had an off back here. Stover had an off. Let's see if we can get Yerxa's off was here. Or he was right on Sten there, but had an off and drops back. Oh, that wasn't too bad. But he does drop back at some point there. And he's going to come under pressure from Kordenek behind him. Kordenek's pretty quick. He was up in the top 5 at one point. Thuline is just 3/10 back from Bobby Blankenship. They're already in the championship points paying position of P10. As Bobby Blankenship gives off, I think he's going to make it easy for Dean there. Whoa, did you see that? Wow. Let's get a replay of that. Bobby Blankenship's off, hits a bump here. Whoa, hits the curbs. You can see the damage come in on that car. Not what you want. So Kordenek up to P8. He started 7th. He's working on Yerxa is falling into him. Well, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors out here. We've got 15 minutes to go. So thanks to Treakle Insurance, paying some bills here, getting us broadcasted here. So Treakle Insurance is an independent agency offering auto, home, business, and life insurance. They've teamed up with Hagerty Insurance to provide collector car coverage as well as race car and track day coverage. So definitely check them out if you're a track day driver or any other insurance that you need. That's in, you know, the area here. And of course, there is also Cellier's out there, but I'm going to talk about him a lot. He's up there on track, but he's sponsored by Beltway Brewing Company, and one of the sponsors here in the series. So thirsty for an award-winning local craft beer? Beltway Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and proudly represents the DMV. Try their lineup of handcrafted IPAs, lagers, sour stouts, and even seltzer. You can order directly from Beltway's website, beltwaybrewco.com, for contact-free delivery to your door, or you can pick it up at their Sterling tap room. Stan's giving us some lights there, I saw too. So I would say that if I was going to be going to the Beltway Brewing Company, I'd certainly be going after a stout. But whatever you wish to be your preferred beer is available from the Sterling tap room there. Even seltzer. Brian Hare has caught up to Robert Benson for the 11th position. Bobby Blankenship's running in 10th. That is the final points paying position. Brian Hare's working on Benson. It's going to make that work. Excellent pass by Brian there. Robert might not agree with that sentiment, but that's what we have to say. So no surprise is Hill in the lead, has brought the gap up to 3 seconds over Treakle in P2. Let's just head on through the field here. So that's Darren Treakle there, one of our sponsors. Rafa Torres Jr. in P3, Brian Kennedy in P4. Really nice looking chrome livery this week. I don't know if he's always been running that, but certainly noticing the chrome on this track more than usual. Peter Lanik in P5. I believe that's a Team Gasburn car. Sten Cellier having a great run here in P6. Colin Kordenek, maybe we'll get an interview with Sten here at the end. Colin Kordenek, P7. Peter Yerxa in P8. Dean Thuline in P9. Bobby Blankenship in P10. We saw him take a ride through the grass earlier. Looks like he might have just taken another one right there. But not as bad as that one we saw in the replay earlier. Brian Hare in P11. Robert Benson in P12. Stephen Tenney, P13. John Wood in P14. John Wood's dropped back. He started P9, currently running 14th, so not the best day for him. Stover is out there. Scott Kim's called it a day. And we've got Michael Bond here. Interesting, different camera angle there. But Bond is in the pits, so that's probably has something to do with the different camera angle here. So really, we kind of spread out. The battles have come and gone. So let's have our leader, who will be coming up on some lap traffic here. Let's go on board with our leader. Crank it up too. As we could say, Chris, go around one of our lapped cars there. They did the wise thing and just kind of kept to the inside. I'll have to ask Sten about... I'm going to bring him up for an interview tonight, I think, and get him to talk about Bellway Brew Company, because he's had a great run here today. As we are about 9.5 minutes to go, it's come down to, it says it's 9 laps to go. Let's see if we can get this to tell us. Thought it might let us, or tell us how many laps, or how many minutes we have to go, but a couple days ago I had one of my streams and it was just give it, sometimes it changes over to this 10 laps to go thing, but when it calculates that there's 10 laps to go, but it's a little bit inaccurate sometimes. So, closest battle on the track is Yerxa and Kordenek. Kordenek had another off. Treakle just had an off, but he's actually gaining ground up on hill. He's brought it down to 2.5 seconds. That's a lot to do, though, in the amount of time that we have left. So we have some Brian fans out there, but is that a Brian Kennedy fan, or is that a Brian Hare fan? Brian Kennedy back in the P4 spot. Brian Hare in the P11 spot. Got a little bit of front end damage on that car, I think, anyway. Yeah, it looks a little bent up. Kennedy running a strong P4. Love that Dell Technologies chrome. It's kind of it's red, of course, but it's a little bit different red. Darren Treakle, our title sponsor of the particular, the guy paying the bills to get these broadcast here in the Treakle Insurance. Oh, he goes off. Oh, and he's going to impact that Armco barrier. Not good there for a Darren. Not accustomed to that. Let's get a replay of that. Gonna go on board with him. Just loses that rear end. But he's back on the track, so now Hill's up to an 11-second lead. Rafa has brought down that gap, but it's still a significant gap. Oh, we've got a move here. Dean and Thuline and Colin Kordenek battling one another. Commentator's curse, indeed. But again, there's always these times where I'm following the cars and they're not crashing. What about that? Kordenek taking a lot of curb. That was on the turn 12. They're heading down to turn the first corner. This is the best battle on the track. Just under 7 laps to go here. 30-minute race, ticking down into the final minutes. Kordenek taking a lot of grass there. I wonder what the incident. We've got a lot of incidents over the course of this race. Just there's a lot of grass here in New Jersey, and they like to drive in it. So Brian Hare's back in 11th. He's closing in on Bobby Blankenship up there. He might have enough time to make that happen. Up in P5, Peter Lennox just kind of cruising around here at the moment. No pressure from behind or in front of him, really. As I saw some lapped cars coming up on, he's coming up on some lapped cars there. He is 2 seconds back from Kennedy up there. I think Kennedy is actually a little bit slower at the moment. Kennedy had gotten around a lapped car there. 100% sure who that lapped car was. Let's see if we can figure it out. It's John Wood, okay, in P14. But Peter's going to have to deal with that in a moment. Peter taking a lot of curb on the exit of turn 1 and 2 there. A lot of curb there, as well as he's going to have to navigate around, and he's blinking the lights at John Wood there. John Wood playing him no mind. Peter wants to get around him. Peter's bringing down that gap to Kennedy, even with the lap traffic here. It is coming down. There we go. Wood gets out of the way. Back up in P2, Rafa is catching Darren Treakle up there. Coming into the picture is Rafa behind there in P3. Darren a little bit damaged after that contact with the Armco barrier. Commentator's curse there. Laid down on the guy who's making these broadcasts happen too, so that's the worst part of it. Blankenship is actually catching Brian Hare up here, or Hare just got around him, I believe is what happened there. Blankenship's moved up from P17 to P10. Is in the points. Yeah, I think we got a battle brewing here for the second position. Rafa's brought it down to a second and a half. Change over, I'll show you guys the intervals here as we come down to it. Probably going on board here with Rafa here, one of our expert drivers, really. Over the curbs. Actually, I just missed that there while I was looking to change this. Treakle is in the pits. Is everybody gonna have to pit? I'm not seeing another off here, really, for Treakle. So he's back on the track. Some cones getting run over as well. So he's back to P5. Which means Rafa takes over P2. Kennedy takes over P3. Lanik in P4. Stan is running in P6. I guess that was just too much there for Darren. Whatever damage he had, or is everybody going to be pitting here? We will see. It was a very short pit stop. It seemed like just some fuel or something. As we have 2 laps to go from our leader. It looks like we're counting down 35 seconds. I've got it on my own screen here. I wish I had that on there for you guys. We'll see if it counts down here. Let's see, where is he at on the track? Is he gonna cross the finish line before we get the checkered flag? That's why we're gonna keep an eye on Hill here. I think he's just gonna make it over those rumble strips. Okay, no, that is checkered flag right here, finishing right here. Chris Hill is our winner. Final lap here. Rafa in P2, looking for other battles here. Kennedy and Lanik. P3, just a little bit too much there. Kordenek on Selye, though, right at the end. See if Sten can hold on in P6. A lot of pressure on him. Oh, he goes a little bit wide, though. Not the end of the world, though. He has the preferred line into turn 10. Kordenek using the outside, and it's clear sailing, I think, for Sten here. He's going to come home P6. As long as he keeps it on the track. And he comes through home P6. Happy moment there for Sten. Oh, and he loses, has to slam on the brakes. It's okay. Treakle Insurance will cover that in the virtual world here. All right, well, we're going to go through and get our podium interviews here. Top 2 finishers and... Oh, okay. And we'll be right back, get everything together for some interviews and that kind of stuff. All right, we are back. Let's see who we have in the waiting room here. And Hill is not in here yet, but I do see Rafa here. Let's see if we can pull him up. Hey, Rafa, this is Matt in the booth. Do I have a copy for you?
Copy.
How's it going there? You finished P2. You started back in P5, so a little bit of an exciting race there for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have much practice before today, so it was pretty much hit the ground running and try to make the best out of it.
Well, I'd say you did a pretty good job. You've kind of had some bad luck the last couple of races that I've seen here. When I've been broadcasting, it seemed like anyway, you had some bad luck. So this is at least a good turnaround from that, I'd say.
Agree with you, man. Since I had to rebuild my computer, I think I lost my mojo, man. Since then, I've been trying to find it.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see you. I think maybe the first week I was back broadcasting, I remembered reading that you had some maybe GPU issues, and that's never fun. And getting that rebuilt and anything else, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, indeed. I've been gaming out of a 1060 overclock to smithereens, but the 3070 is coming. Should be here tomorrow.
Well, that's good. Those are everybody wants one of those, or a 3080, or even a 3090, but they're so difficult to get. But yeah, it sounds good that you're going to be getting one.
Yeah. I've been trying to wait the upgrade until the cryptocurrency went down, but still, I was lucky that a friend of mine bought it for me in California, and he shipped it to me.
Yeah, I know somebody in Canada that happened to get one, but I know I've been looking for one for like 3 or 4 months, and another friend of mine's been looking as well. And now they're doing a Newegg is doing a raffle now to try to get one. So
What?
yeah, exactly. Just I wish they would let you just pre-order it or something like that. But anyway, enough talk about that. Good run here tonight. Next week is Road America. I would assume that you have a lot of experience there.
Yeah, I actually raced at Road America in real life, and I raced at this track as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like when I have to rebuild the computer, like my pedals, my steering wheel, nothing is the same. So it's like I'm learning again.
Well, good finish. I'll let you go talk to everybody in the general, but we'll see you here next week.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Hey, Sten, do I have a copy for you?
Oh, what's that?
Do I have a copy?
Yeah, I hear you. If you hear
Okay,
me,
got you.
Said, you wanted me to.
Yeah, I was. We were following you, and you had a really great race. And I always want to pull in some different people into here. So tell us about your race. You went from P11 to P6.
Yeah, I actually got some time to practice this week, and a new VR headset. So, yeah, it was a new experience, and felt a little more real, and it felt good to keep the car on the track and away from other cars.
Tell us a little bit about your sponsor there. I believe, I don't know if you're the owner or you're just involved with Beltway Brewing Company in some fashion.
I am both.
Okay.
Very involved. Yeah, so Beltway Brewing Company, we're a brewery in Sterling, Virginia, and yeah, really specialize in doing contract brewing, but also brewing a lot of our own beers. And yeah, just excited to be a sponsor for the NCC BMW Club this season, and see some graphics out on the track. It's been fun.
Very cool, and I could tell. So at first, when I was looking at your car, I was saying you need some Beltway Brew Co. car logos on that car. But then I started looking closer, and I said there are Beltway Brew Co.
That's right.
on the car. So very
I have
good.
Hendrik to thank for that. He did a very good job helping me with that design.
Awesome. Well, really good run tonight. We had fun watching you. You had some fans out in the chat, and yeah,
right.
Really good run. And it sounds like you got a really cool brewing company there. I'm over way in Indianapolis, so I can't come by, but I would if I was nearby.
Next time you're out, we'll show you a good time.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll be at Road America next week. Any thoughts going there?
Just that I'm gonna have to get some practice in because I'm not very familiar with that track. So I'll work to do the same thing I did this week.
A lot of long straightaways and heavy braking, so that's what you got to prepare for.
Good times.
All right, have a good one.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yep. All right, we'll bring up our winner here. I was hanging out in the waiting room, and we'll be back to the broadcast booth and bring in Chris here. Hey, Chris, this is Matt in the booth. You got a copy?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Matt. Yeah, there we go. And now it's working.
Kind of clear sailing for you in this one, from flag to flag victory. Tell us about your race.
Well, I thought after qualifying it was going to be a reasonably easy race there, just looking at the gap. But Darren stepped it up as usual, and he kept the pressure on there for a bit. So unfortunately, it seems like he had a mistake, with about 10 minutes to go or something like that. Because man, he was definitely making me have to put in some fast laps there to keep the gap and keep it going. But yeah, after that, it was relatively smooth sailing and interesting track for sure. I never driven it before this week, and it's.
You hadn't driven in real life either, or?
No, I'm on the West Coast, so I haven't even made it out to it. So yeah, I guess a couple of the guys have gone out there in real life and know it pretty well. But yeah, it's an interesting layout for sure. That infield section there, the long I guess they call it the octopus or whatever, was challenging and fun, and fun to figure something different out, you know. So.
Yeah, it was new for me as well. I knew that, so I'm an IndyCar fan, and so the Mazda Road to Indy, well, it's not the Mazda anymore, but they go here, and then apparently in the past, Grand Am sports cars came here, and even it said ARCA NASCAR came here at some point in time, but I've never actually watched a race here, but it certainly seems like a really cool track, so...
yeah, it'd be cool if they finish it up in iRacing with some, some buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
too.
like they did with Long
Make it
Beach
a little-
recently.
Yeah.
Finally finishing up the tech track there.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations
Yeah,
on
good
your
fun.
win there.
No, thank you very much, and yeah, thanks for doing the video and all that kind of stuff. It's super cool, and thanks to the guys for hosting the event. It's always fun
Hey, next
playing
week.
with these guys. And
Next week is Road America. Any thoughts going there?
well, it's at least one that I've driven before, so and done. I do pretty decent there most of the time we go there, so I have a feeling we should have a fun race there. And yeah, I always enjoy it. It definitely is one that burns through the tires pretty decently, but otherwise otherwise I enjoy it a bunch. So should be a fun race, and yeah,
It'll probably be this race it says 26 laps, so that's going to be probably, I don't know, 13 or 14 laps. So every corner really counts.
A much shorter amount of laps for sure.
Yeah,
but long ones for sure. So
yeah, all right,
should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Any final shout outs to anybody watching, or any sponsors or anything like that?
Just thanks to the guys putting on the series, and I always I always have to thank the wife for supporting me in my hobby and stuff, because she's very, very supportive, and I always appreciate that. So I always have to thank her for that. But other than that, yeah, it's been great. It's been great running the series and having a lot of fun. So
all right,
for the next one,
we'll see you then next week, same time, same place.
Sounds good.
All right, take care. All right, well, that was our race here. Pretty exciting one. Really good job by the crew here. We'll do a run through of the final results here. So, Chris Hill, we just talked to him. P1, Rafa Torres there. P2, Brian Kennedy. P3, Peter Lanik. P4, Darren Treakle. P5, Sten Cellier. And P6, should have asked him how to pronounce his name. P7, Dean Thuline. Bobby Blankenship III, Brian Hare. Colin Kordenek in P10. Final points paying possession. Peter Yerkes in P11. Robert Benson. P12, Stephen Tenney in P13, John Wood in P14, Matthew Stover in P15. And then our last couple drivers out from this race was Michael Bond and Scott Cammardman, unfortunately, had a early exit to the race here. So we'll be back here, as we said, Road America, same time, just a little bit after 8 o'clock. We'll be running that qualifying, and then the 30-minute race. Final shout out to sponsors here. Beltway Brewing Company, we heard from Sten there. Beltway Brewing Company's out of Sterling, Virginia, and you can get handcrafted IPAs, lagers, sour stouts, and seltzer. BeltwayBrewCo.com, contact free delivery. You can head over and pick up from their Sterling tap room as well. And of course, Treakle Insurance and Hagerty Insurance, they've teamed up to offer auto, home, business, and life insurance. They provide collector car coverage as well as race car and track day coverage as well. So really good cause. We thank them for helping us put on the show here on Race First. So for Matt Houston, this is Raceverse. We'll see you next week. Tuesday Night Thunder on Tuesday, and then the BMW Car Club here on Thursday. No Schaefer's Cup next week on Wednesday, though. Take care.